Hi students, welcome to the another session of our chemical bonding lesson from our physical science. Today we are going to talk about part 5. So till yesterday what is meant by, till the last session we were talking about what is meant by ionic bond and how the formation of sodium chloride and the formation of magnesium chloride has been taken place, and why there is a necessity of writing magnesium chloride MgCl2, and why there is not necessary of writing NaCl in the formation of sodium chloride and the formation of magnesium chloride MgCl2, why there is a requirement of writing the subscript 2 there. That is what was the main agenda of our last session. Now today we are going to talk about, that is ionic bond, the continuation of that ionic bond which was proposed by the Kossel. Today we are going to discuss about disodium monoxide, the formation of disodium monoxide, how the disodium monoxide is formed. Okay, according to the explanation given by the Kossel in the ionic bond. So ionic bond, just if we recap what is meant by ionic bond, the transfer of ionic bond forms due to the transfer of electron from one atom to the another atom. Due to this transfer, the electron which is giving the atom is going to be formed as a cation, and the electron which is accepting the electron is going to form as anion, and due to the existence of or due to the formation of two different charges, giving an atom is going to form a cation, giving an electron is going to form as a cation, accepting an electron it is going to form as an anion. Due to the formation of two different charges, there exists electrostatic attraction force which makes the two ions to be together to form a new molecule, okay, or a compound. That is what we were talking about. Now if you go with the further discussion and explanation about disodium monoxide. Okay, so what I am going to do is I am going to write the configuration of sodium first and see what is the valence electrons. The concept of ionic bond is with respect to the valential electrons, or that is the electrons which are present in the outermost shell. Now what I am going to do, see, I am going to write the configuration of sodium, that is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. In first shell 2 electrons, in second shell 8 electrons, in third shell 1 electron. As I have 1 electron in the third shell, okay, as I have only 1 electron in the third shell, it confirms that, okay, it says that, so we have 11 protons in the nucleus. K shell I have 2 electrons, L shell I have 8 electrons, okay, M shell I have only 1 electron. Instead of taking this all this I am writing as a kernel, that already we discussed, or this can be written as Na dot. Okay, that means it shows that only 1 electron is present in the outermost shell. Now what I want to do, disodium monoxide, and next I want to write the configuration of oxygen 8, that is 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. In first shell I have 2 electrons, in second shell I have 6 electrons. Okay, in second shell I have 6 electrons. If I write the configuration, 8 protons in the nucleus. K shell, diagrammatical form, K shell have 2 electrons. L shell, I have 6 electrons here in the L shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I write in a Lewis dot structure, that is sodium oxygen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6 electrons are there. Among these 6 electrons which are placed around the kernel of the oxygen, we notice that these two already they are paired, where they are unpaired electrons. We see that 2 unpaired electrons here. Okay, now what is going to happen, as the tendency of the sodium to give 1 electron, and according to the configuration the tendency of the oxygen is to accept 1 electron. So if you try to establish a relationship here, sodium, if I write here, I can make any change in the dot structure according to my requirement. I can make any change. Now sodium I can write as like this, sodium. This electron by one unpaired electron of Otherwise, the sodium is going to transfer one electron to this oxygen. Even by transferring of one electron, one more electron is required. Outermost, if it is transferred 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, one more electron is required. One more electron is required for the oxygen to maintain the octet. Okay, so one more sodium will give one more, will transfer one more electron here. That means two sodiums, disodium, and one oxide. One oxygen is utilized, are going to be bonded due to the electrostatic force, existing between here. That is nothing but due to the transfer of this, it is going to form. Due to the transfer of this, it is going to form Na plus ion, and here it is going to form O minus 2 ion, and it is again Na plus ion. Due to the existence of electrostatic force here, there will be forming. Okay, it will form as Na2 disodium monoxide, single oxide. Monoxide is nothing but single oxide. So this is the reason why we are going to get the disodium monoxide in the molecular state of Na2. Okay, fine. So the formation of aluminium chloride, AlCl3 has been given aluminium chloride. That is also we have to discuss. So AlCl3, aluminium chloride, if you want to talk about, aluminium configuration is 13. Formation of AlCl3 instead of this, if you talk about aluminium chloride, how it will form. So aluminium, that is 13, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p1, outermost shell electrons have 3 electrons. So 3 electrons in the outermost shell, so it will form as Al3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and the chlorine configuration is 17. The chlorine configuration is 17. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5. The outermost shell electrons are 5. Here we have 8 electrons, and outermost shell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 electrons. So the chlorine will act like this. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So chlorine, we have one electron. So chlorine requires one electron to have a bond to fulfill the octet, whereas aluminium has the tendency of giving 3 electrons. Aluminium has the tendency of giving 3 electrons. So what happens here? So aluminium has the ability of transferring the 3 electrons, where chlorine has the tendency of accepting only 1 electron here. So this will be given here. Okay. So again two electrons are there. 2 electrons are extra. Aluminium can give 2 more electrons. So that will be given to 1 more chlorine, transferred to 1 more chlorine. Again 1 electron is extra here. This will be aluminium can share 1 more. Aluminium can transfer 1 more electron. That will be transferred to the another chlorine. So one aluminium, as it has 3 electrons, as it has the ability of giving 3 electrons, 3 chlorines are required to accept that electron. So that is why aluminium plus 3, a cation is going to form, whereas Cl minus and Cl minus and Cl minus, there are 3 negative ions are going to form. Due to the electrostatic force existing between here, we will find AlCl3, aluminium chloride molecule is being formed here. Is it okay, all of you? So this is how the ionic bond is going to work, which has been proposed by the Cosell. Okay, the main concept of ionic bond is to transfer the required number of electrons such that there exists, due to this transfer, the atom which is giving the electrons will form a cation, and the atom which is accepting the electrons is going to form an anion. Due to the formation of 2 different charges, there exists electrostatic force which makes the ions to be together and to form a molecule. Okay. The concept is to transfer the electrons. The main concept of ionic bond is to transfer the electrons. Now, see, and notice that under an ionic bond, metals have, generally we notice that the metals have the tendency of losing the electrons. The metals have the tendency of giving the electrons, okay, to form a cation. See, as the metals have the tendency of losing the electrons or giving the electrons to form a cation, the formation of cation is also considered, or the formation of cation is see, as we observe, generally we observe the metals have the tendency of losing the electrons or giving the electrons to obtain the octet in the outermost shell to form the cation. This property is called as metallic property or electropositivity. Okay, electropositivity. What is that electropositivity? We are going to discuss in detail in our further discussion, further classes. Okay. So the metals have so I am not talking about the covalent bond here. There is a note about ionic bond. See, when we talk about a note under ionic bond, generally metals have the tendency to lose the electrons. So as the metals have the tendency to lose the electrons to form a cation, this property is called as metallic property. Keep in mind, again one more time repeating, metals have the tendency of losing the electrons to attain the octet and to form the cation. So that is why it is called as metallic property or electropositivity. Whereas on the other hand, non-metals have the tendency of accepting the electrons or gaining the electrons. Okay, gaining the electrons or accepting. Losing the electrons will form a cation, or gaining the electrons or accepting the electrons or taking the electrons. Okay, will be accepting the electrons again to attain the octet. So that is called as non-metallic property. Non-metallic property or electronegativity. It's called as electronegativity. Accepting gives the cation, that is electronegativity. Giving or losing gives the formation of attains the octet and forms the cation, that is called as electropositivity. That is a note under ionic bond that you have to keep in mind. So usually metals will form cations, non-metal will form anions. That is one more point you have to keep in mind. Now coming to the next explanation, next bond type, the next explanation of the bond is covalent bond. Covalent bond, which is being expressed or proposed by G.N. Lewis in 1916. Okay, the covalent bond is explained by the Lewis in 1916. He proposed that. In 1916 it was the explanation which has been given by him. Okay, so what is going to talk about? Okay, what is going to talk about is it is not always, it is not necessary or it is not possible for an atom to transfer the electrons, or it is not always possible for some elements, it is not always have the ability of transferring the electrons or accepting the electrons or losing the electrons to form a molecule between the elements and form a molecule. Okay, so there might be some other mechanism. There might be some other mechanism in which, in such cases where there is no possibility of transfer of electrons, he was to give the answer for that another mechanism. The G.N. Lewis has proposed another type of bonding between the two atoms to form a molecule is a covalent bond. Now, what is this covalent bond? How does this covalent bond is differ from the ionic bond? Okay, if you go with, in ionic bond, we were talking about the transfer of electron is going to be taken place, whereas in the covalent bond, the mutual sharing or group of atoms. Group of atom takes place to have a bond between those atoms. Okay, so mutual sharing of electrons will be taking place. Okay, mutual sharing of electrons by two or more atoms or group of atoms takes place to have a bond between those atoms to have the existence of covalent bond. Okay, so covalent bond, ionic bond is transfer of electrons. Covalent bond is mutual sharing of electrons to attain the octet in the outermost shell. Okay, see how does this covalent bond is going to work is what we were going to talk about. See, same here. In order to possess the octet in the outermost shell, or in order to possess the octet and have a stable entity, to have an existence of stable entity, in the ionic bond, transfer of electron has been taking place. In the covalent bond, mutual sharing of electron has been taking place. Okay, this concept will be understood even more better when we talk about one example, a small example we are going to discuss. How does a molecule of molecules are going to take place. One more important point you have to keep in mind: the covalent bond explains about. About formation of bond between similar atoms and also dissimilar atoms. Okay, so this covalent bond explains about the formation of bond between similar atoms and the dissimilar atoms as well. Is it okay, all of you? I suppose I understood. Okay, so now let us we'll discuss one example so that you can understand even more better about this topic. Okay, now what I am going to do, see, we are going to talk about a very good example, the formation of fluorine molecule F2. Okay, we will take the fluorine. Fluorine molecule, it is F2. How the formation of chlorine molecule has been taken place in order to in the context of covalent bond, that is what we are going to talk now. So what I am going to do, first I will write the configuration F2 molecule about. So F atomic number 9, fluorine atomic number 9, configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. Okay, that is 2 electrons and there are 7 electrons here. Where if I write the Lewis dot structure here, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 electrons are there already. Okay, 7 electrons are there in the outermost shell. Okay, this total will be taken as kernel. I am writing it there for that. Outermost shell electron. This total will be taken in the kernel, and outermost shell electrons only are representing the dots around this fluorine symbol. Okay. Now one more fluorine if I take, there exists 7 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 electrons. Now what happens? This 1 electron of one fluorine, the another electron of one more fluorine, are going to be mutually shared. Okay, mutually shared. That means this fluorine thinks that this belongs to this one and attains octet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. This fluorine treats that this belongs to this one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. This one. Okay, mutually shares. They are going to mutually shares that electrons, mutually shares that electron and forms a bond, and they are going to form a bond. Okay, due to this mutual sharing, they are going to form a bond between fluorine and fluorine. These two electrons are mutually shared. Okay, such that is why due to this mutual sharing is responsible for having a bond between the two fluorine atoms to form the molecule as F2. Fluorine atoms in the diatomic state. Same here for the formation of oxygen. Or if I take the formation of O2, oxygen, if I write oxygen 8 electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p4, 2 and outermost electrons are 6 here. So if I write the Lewis dot structure, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can arrange the dots according to my convenience. And as the diatomic state, our convenience. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these two electrons are mutually shared, and these two electrons are mutually shared. So to have two bonds between the atoms, to form this is the double bond. Okay, we have a double bond between oxygen and oxygen. Where see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for this atom to possess octet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are the mutual. These are mutually shared. These electrons are mutually shared between two atoms to form the existence of O2 molecule. O2 molecule, and to form as it will be due to the sharing of electrons. Due to the mutual sharing of electrons is responsible for having a bond between the atoms to have the molecule. Okay. Now, for example, if I take N2, formation of N2, or if I want to know about the formation of N2 molecule. Okay. Same nitrogen, atomic number is 7. Configuration if I write 1s2, 2s2, 2p3, that is 2 electrons, and there are 5 electrons in the outermost shell. And if I represent the Lewis dot structure, nitrogen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 electrons in the outermost shell. One more nitrogen if I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so sharing between these two electrons, sharing between these two electrons, sharing between these two electrons. So nitrogen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for this one. For this one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They are possessing the octave by mutual sharing of electrons, and this mutual sharing of electrons, is responsible to have a triple bond. Okay, a triple bond between nitrogen and nitrogen, and to exist that nitrogen in the diatomic state, the nitrogen molecular state as N2. Okay, so this is about the formation of molecules of similar type of atoms by the context of, or by the concept of covalent bond. So if you recap, the covalent bond is possible or exists or is responsible or is coming to existence or have a bond by the mutual sharing of electrons. The concept is mutual sharing of electrons. That mutual shared electron belongs to the two atoms which are sharing that electrons and possess the octet in the outermost shell. And that sharing of electrons is responsible to have a bond and to form that molecules. Okay, this explanation is about the sharing of electrons to form the molecules between the similar atoms. Now, if you want to know about how the formation of molecule is going to take place between two dissimilar atoms. Okay, if you want to know about how the explanation of covalent bond is going to be given by the formation of bond between two dissimilar atoms to form a molecule, okay, and how the mutual sharing of electron is going to take place, let us discuss. See, already in the introduction part we were talking about covalent bond is responsible for to have a bond between similar atoms and have between the two dissimilar atoms as well. Whereas covalent ionic bond is strictly associated with dissimilar atoms only. Okay. Now in the formation of methane, okay, when we're talking about methane, that is CH4 methane molecule formation. When we are talking about methane CH4 molecule formation, we have carbon and hydrogen. Now what I am going to do, I am trying to write the carbon configuration. Carbon C6. The carbon configuration is C6. Okay, 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. Whereas in first shell I have 2 electrons and second shell I have 4 electrons, that is outermost shell contains 4 electrons. Now if I write hydrogen configuration, that is H, atomic number is 1. So hydrogen, the atomic number is 1. That is 1s1, outermost shell contains only 1 electron here. And if I write the Lewis dot structure for this one, 1, 2, this all has nuclear kernel and the outermost shell electrons are 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 electrons are here. That means as the outermost shell electrons are 4, and there is only one electron is present in the hydrogen, that means 4 such hydrogens are required. Hydrogen, and hydrogen, where they are mutually going to share this electron and the central atom is going to possess. The central atom is going to possess octet, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 of that respective element. Okay, and it is 5, 6, 7, 8 where they are shared. So there exist 4 bonds. The carbon is going to exist 4 bonds by that hydrogen to form a methane molecule. Okay, that is nothing but C is going to have a bond. If you take the carbon, if I write C, okay, it is going to form in this way. And a carbon as a central atom is going to bond with 4 hydrogen atoms to form a molecule of methane. Mutually shared. The bond between 2 dissimilar atoms. Carbon is one type of atom and hydrogen is one type of atom. Now if you talk about one more molecule, suppose the formation of ammonia molecule. If you talk about ammonia, that is NH3. The formation of NH3 molecule, in the formation of NH3 molecule, how it is going to take place, let us talk about that. So nitrogen configuration is 7, 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. So 2 electrons and 5 electrons. And if I write the configuration, Lewis dot structure of nitrogen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 electrons are there. These are as the nuclear kernel. 5 electrons are there. Where there are 3 unpaired electrons or unshared electrons. 3 unpaired electrons if you discuss. Okay, that 3 unpaired electrons are going to have a bond between hydrogen here and with one more hydrogen here, where with one more hydrogen here. Due to the presence of 3 unpaired electrons, single electrons here, unpaired electrons in the representation of Lewis dot structure. Okay, there is a requirement of 4 hydrogens to have a bond between with the nitrogen, and nitrogen will have a triple bond. Nitrogen will have a triple bond between that hydrogen. Nitrogen and hydrogen will have a triple bond, and the molecular formation of that will be nitrogen here, where it has 2 paired electrons here, and this shared electron, and this is 2 shared electron, and this is the shared electron, where the molecule of ammonia will be in this way, where it consists of already paired electrons and unpaired electrons are going to have a triple bond between the hydrogen to form the molecule. See here, if you notice, whether it is a similar atoms or in a dissimilar atom, the concept of covalent bond gives about or is going to mainly focus about sharing of electrons. Mutual sharing of electrons. To have the mutual sharing of electrons is going to attain the octet in the outermost shell. To have that to share the atoms to be together to form a molecule. Okay, so this is about covalent bond. The main drawback, there is two drawbacks actually. The second drawback we were going to talk about after discussion of Esper theory. The main drawback, the first main drawback of this ETV, that is electronic theory of valency, either it is through ionic bond or either to the covalent bond, is it explained how the bond is going to take place, but the theory failed to explain what is the shape of the molecule which is formed. For example, if I take atom shape, it is a spherical shape. How it is, that we discussed in chapter structure of atom, we discussed in that. Now, if there is a bond taking place between nitrogen and hydrogen, now what is the shape? Okay, mutual sharing is been done. Okay, then what is the shape of the molecule which is formed? How the shape will be? Is it in a spherical shape, or it is in a rectangular shape, or it is going to be in this shape, or how that shape of the molecule will be? That means this theory, ETV, electronic theory of valency, is failed to explain about the shape of the molecules formed. Okay, to give the explanation about the shape of the molecules formed due to the sharing of electrons, the valence shell electron theory has been come into the existence. So about valence shell electron pair repulsion theory, Vespert, VSEPRT, we discuss in the next session. Thank you. I hope you understood this session. So if you recap, ionic bond is transfer of electrons, covalent bond is mutual sharing of electrons. Okay. Thank you all of you for watching this video. Keep smiling all of you. Have a nice day, and please don't forget to subscribe our channel. Bye bye.